Alright, what's good? So, it's your boy, the BuffShaman. Now, I'm starting to do videos and stuff. I got a ring light. I stole this one. Not really. I'm borrowing it. Borrowing it. I got my phone as a mic. I got a webcam. I got headphones, all that. So, with that said, without further ado, let's look at this video by the internet adjacent, and it's about Birdie. Now, I have seen a video about Birdie from Papa Gut. He made like a full couple hour thing, but I was working, so I just listened to it while I worked and everything. Um, yeah. So this I first heard about Birdie from someone called Cyrax or Cyber Bear, something like that, Cine Bear, something like that, right? Yeah, Cine Bear, my bad. And they diddled the kid or something. I don't know, bro. I only say about this type of stuff when I listen to Papa Gut. But shut the Papa Gut, the goat. Pretty much, this girl, this woman. Oh fuck, fuck. I'm canceled. I mean, this guy, my bad. Take two. But pretty much, I heard about her. I heard about him from Papa Gut, and I heard that they also diddled the kid, which is crazy because when I watched the video with Cindy Bear, apparently this person was kind of like calling out Cindy Bear and severed ties and stuff like that from Cindy Bear. So there is that. I don't really know, bro. So I guess we can just get right into the video. Not gonna lie. Oh, I just realized I'm not even getting audio from my desktop. LMAO. Let me pause real quick. Okay, so we're back recording. We're back recording. I forgot to switch over my audio. Doesn't matter. Let's get right back into the video. Doesn't matter.
And combine both videos to... Alright, chat. Today is going to be a great video. So how many of you have heard of the YouTuber Birdie? They were relevant in the Just a Robot and Cine Bear drama as one of the main accusers against Cine. But as it turns out, though, it seems like Birdie themselves is also kind of a psychotic person. Whether it just be general awful behavior to others online and their own family, their constant victim complex, and the fact that they're just in general a terrible person, we're going to go through everything. Now there are two main videos floating around, and over the course of this video we'll be going through both of them and basically sum everything up about them. One of which is an exposed video, and the other is a recording.
I'm not gonna lie, you know what's crazy, bro? Like, this is like a tangent thing. Bro, I don't understand how people on YouTube, and this is no offense to this creator, but I can't, first of all, I can't understand why you would gain that much fame and you would gain that much notoriety in doing YouTube and doing content, and then you would also go there and touch kids, right? I don't understand it personally. I don't understand it. But my thing is, right? What is your what is their obsession with that? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just like a regular person. I don't know, because I know some people do have mental disorders and stuff. They have that Moon Knight shit going on. They got three different personalities and shit. But pretty much it's a thing where I don't get it, because it's there is women and then there's men. You can't see the beauty in a fully grown adult, a fully grown person. It's when you look at a kid, it's just a kid, bro. They're adorable. That's it. That's how I look at kids. They're adorable. And they're dumb kids. That's it. That's how I look at kids, bro. Other than that, I don't look at kids any other way, bro. I don't understand how people can look at kids and think to themselves, yeah, I just gotta deal with them, bro. It just has to be a thing that I have to do. You know what I mean? I don't get it personally. I don't know if that makes you weird or not. But whatever, let's get back to the video, I guess.
Of a call between Birdie and another person. Both of these videos are very long, so for those of you who don't have all the time in the world to watch these, take these kinda as the ADHD version. We'll go point by point and combine both videos together so we can fully paint the messy picture that is Birdie. But before we get started, make sure to subscribe so that I can feed my starving family. So let's get a little bit of back.
I'm gonna like the video. I'm gonna like the video. Yeah, I'm just like the video.
Story. Birdie is a 20-year-old trans man with over 100k subs on YouTube. They created their channel way back in 2017, and their content consists of mostly short little animations, with some videos of them just venting sprinkled in. Now, obviously, being around since 2017, there are a lot of
Seems
videos on
decent.
this channel,
Doesn't seem
and
that
some of
bad.
these videos are the topic of a video by Lord Crust. In his video, he goes over a
What?
lot of Birdie's content, as well as a
Crusty
lot of the
ass.
conflicting statements they've made over the years, and just in general, how insufferable this person is. With that, we're
Okay.
going to get started by going over his video first.
Hi, my name is Jack, or Lucifer. My pronouns are he, it. I'm 19. I'm aroaced and gay, ooh la la. My favorite colors are red, black, and yellow. I'm a demon kitty. I love rainbows and tacos and cats and randomness. I love scene and decora K and emo, but that's pretty obvious, isn't it? I have evil autism.
This should be an indicator of who this person is going forward.
If you are a member of my family watching this video, including my parents and grandparents,
What is evil autism? Like, how of I'm tweaking or not, right? What is that? Like, how is that? Like, what? Am I tweaking or? Okay.
I kindly advise that you stop here. I do not wish to have you be part of my internet life because you have irreversibly hurt me, and I'm going to be straightforward and honest about the damage that you've done.
So over the course of this video, we're going to find
Hold on. This is a quick round, real quick, right? One thing I never understood was how people can take their drama and take their like personal experiences and fully air out all of it, bro. I can understand, like, still, I can understand being vague, right? And saying things like, hey, you know, I went through X, Y, Z, A, B, C, right? Oh, I've experienced, like, you know, grape. I've experienced, you know, schmexual, you know, stuff like that, right? I can understand that, right? Like groping, all that type of stuff, right? I can understand that. But why would you air out the personal business? You know what I mean? Because the internet is undefeated, bro. I remember they had Shia LaBeouf, right? Shia LaBeouf had this flag or something, right? And I think on like 4chan or one of those like obscure like Reddit like websites or whatever, bro. They looked at wind direction, they looked at the sky, they looked at the day, all that type of stuff, bro. I thought, well, there was no sound in the video either. It was just a flag waving in the wind, bro. And they found the exact location and they tore down the flag or something like that, I think, or they vandalized the flag, something like that. Bro, why would you even like attempt to put your family and stuff out there like that? And I'm saying that mainly because for me, it's a thing where like I've been through some stuff, but it's not a thing where I think to myself like, yeah, I just gotta expose my family, bro. Like the only people who actually know some of the stuff I've been through, like, is literally friends that I really consider to be brothers for real. You know what I mean? And sister. So there is that, you know what I mean? But I never understood this. It's like you're gonna make your life significantly harder, mainly because it's like, okay, cool, you went through this thing, right? Cool, but you also are airing out your business, and all it takes for one person to do is find you. Once they find you, they can easily track down your family. Honestly, dog's location, like find relatives, like find your school, find jobs. It's easy to find any of that. I don't know. Me personally, when I first like started using internet, I was very cognizant of making sure I didn't put certain things out on the internet. You know what I mean? Like, I would rather like literally embarrass myself than to go there and put anything about anybody else on the internet, bro. Personally. Now, I can understand if the person is on the internet, that's understandable, but if they aren't, then just leave them out of it, bro. Honestly, that's how I see it. Because it's just unnecessary drama for real.
find out that a lot of this stuff seems like bullshit. But even apart from that, it's never really a good idea to talk about your family or whatever drama you have with your family online. While most people realize that, this person is far too terminally online to understand that. They also later go on to say that their family watches their videos and videos that are making fun of them. So yeah, keep that in mind. We then get a little more background about Birdie and what they claim to have. They claim they have autism, ADHD, schizophrenia, and bipolar.
Okay, let me read this real quick. I didn't know they had flags for like bipolar and schizophrenia. Okay. Oh, what? Arrow Ace? What? Hold on. Let me search what this is real quick. Yeah, Arrow Ace meaning. What it means to be aromantic? That's what it is? Aromantic? Hold on. Let me move this out of the way. What's meant to be RAs? RAs is shorthand for RH individuals experience relative romantic sexual attraction towards others. Oh, okay. Okay, I guess. I don't know, man. I'm so new to all this, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm very new to all this. Don't count me, please. Um, okay, I know the gay flag. I know the trans flag. I didn't know they had two gay flags. That's cool, I guess. They got two. They got trans flag. They got autistic and AHD. That sounds like everybody, bro. Not gonna lie. And what I mean that is like what I'm seeing nowadays in comparison to when I was growing up as a kid. Now, granted, I don't live in America, but it's a thing where like everybody has like a mental disorder. I find that to be pretty weird. Not gonna lie. Like, I can understand you find out you have something later on, and then it just is what it is. Versus, hey, I have this thing, so now I'm gonna make it my whole personality. Stuff like that, I really don't understand. That and people faking stuff, you know what I mean? But that I don't understand. People faking their personality and people faking like having this particular disorder, this particular disease or whatever. Like, that's not really like a good thing to do. It reminds me of like, since I go to the gym and stuff like that, right? You know, of course, my biceps are kind of tiny. I'm just turning this way. Since I go to the gym and stuff, right? It reminds me of like trying to give advice to like somebody who's obese, right? And they look me dead in my eyes and tell me, yeah, it's still metabolism. And it's like, buddy, if you understand basic science, you have a very fast metabolism, and it's mainly because you are a bigger person. You're bigger than the average person. Like me, I weigh like 190 something. Trying to cut down though, trying to get to 170. It'll take like a few weeks, but to lose 10 and then take a break, lose the next 10. But pretty much it's a thing where it's like, bro, you have a bigger metabolism because you have a larger metabolism and a faster metabolism because you are a bigger person. It's that simple. That's like a cow saying like, yeah, bro, I just have like a slow ass metabolism, bro. Even though they have 7 stomachs, I think they have 7 stomachs. Yeah, I think they have 7 stomachs. They have 7 stomachs. Not only do they have 7 stomachs, I'm trying to flip my hands. Not only do they have 7 stomachs, it's also a thing where it's like they eat a lot all day, every day, because they are bigger creatures. Like, you know what I mean? It's like people just like to make up stuff sometimes. I'm not saying that this person is doing that, but it just gets exhausting to really hear everybody say, yeah, I have autism, yeah, I have this, I have that. And it's like, bro, do you really have it? I besides my window. Do you really have it, or are you just doing it for attention? I think some people are just doing it for attention. Not this person particularly, maybe not, who knows. But yeah, honestly, that's what it looks like most of the time, bro. From outside looking in.
Bipolar disorder. They also claim to be asexual and gay at the same time, which is a kind of a contradiction when you...
I was thinking that too, you know, because the thing is, right, I actually know a girl in my university, right? I think she was asexual, and it was a thing where, like, it was such a weird thought because she had a boyfriend. I was like, how does that work? Do y'all do the hanky panky? Like how does it work, bro? Like, I was really trying to be like respectful, while also trying to like be insightful. You know what I mean? Because I was trying to understand like what even is that? That's the first time in my life, in my 21 years of life, that I've ever seen that, bro. Oh yeah, I'm asexual. I'm like, what? But you have a boyfriend? How does that work, bro? Oh, this and that. We just don't, you know, have schmecks or whatever, or we just don't, you know, clap. And I'm like, wait, but how does what? Like, I was just confused, bro. I was just honestly confused, bro. I didn't know what the hell was going on.
When you think about it, they also say they suffer from a heart condition as well as depression, as well as DID or some shit similar to that for a while. If you ask me, though, it kind of comes across as bullshit, and according to a trained medical professional they talked to as well, they basically said the same thing.
When Carol first appeared when I was 14, I went all the way to fucking Seattle Children's Hospital to see a psychiatrist, only for him to brush me off for being autistic and tell me that I have a vivid imagination and that it was just the autism.
So, let's start this off on a funny note. Birdie says they were groomed by another YouTuber, Kitty Dog, when they were 12, and Kitty Dog was 14.
I know a few of you are probably going to say this as some sort of counter-argument, so
You know what's crazy, bro? I had an ex, right? And not gonna get too much details. I had an ex, right? And when we broke up, it was a thing where she claimed that I groomed her, right? We were 2 years apart, bro. Like, she's literally like, I'm 21. She's like 19 now, right? We broke up when I was like 18 and she was 16. Now in my country, which is the Bahamas, age consent is 16, right? So if we wanted to, because I kept on dating, I didn't want to be with her because I was like, bro, by the time I get to my second year of college, you'll just be turning 18. That's kind of weird, not gonna lie. You know what I mean? Not to us. I found it weird personally, but I had a weird mentality back then. I thought honestly that you can only date within 2 years if you're either underage or overage. I think if like it overlapped, it was kind of weird, which was dumb because I could have saw the girlfriend probably. But anyway, doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't know. I find that kind of weird because like it doesn't make sense because it's a 2 year age gap. You guys are pretty much the exact same age. 2 years makes a lot of difference, but it doesn't make a lot of difference when it comes down to like physical age. You know what I mean? Mentally, yeah, you can go through a lot of things within like a few months, let alone 2 years. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Just had to add that in there real quick.
Like to acknowledge it. The age gap wasn't like huge. I was 12 and she was 14. But like, let's not get caught up in the logistics of grooming. I am not misusing the word. I can confidently say that this is what this was.
I'm gonna need a fucking calculator because this is not adding up. But then they later said that they dated a 13-year-old while 16.
In 2021, I went through my breakup. This breakup alone put me into another psychotic state where I was essentially dissociating 24/7 and became unable to make proper judgment anymore. Exactly 5 days after said breakup, I was asked out by my former friend Draggy, who was 13. I was 16, and it was my responsibility as the older person to turn them down.
Hold on. This gonna go into my intro. Nigga, what? Bro, what? Oh my god. Freaky ass nigga need to stay ass inside. Not gonna lie, like, bro, what? 16 and you were 13? Bro, come on, bro. Come on, bro. That's different. Like, 18 and 16? Cool. 16 and 13? Weird as hell. What do you see in a 13-year-old? That's like, that has to be grooming, bro. And I think, and the reason why I'm calling it grooming is because I'm thinking of like a school context, right? That's literally, I don't know what Americans call it, but over here, instead of having middle school and high school, we have like grades 7 to 9 is like middle school, and grades 10 to 12 is like high school, right? So that's like a junior in high school, right? Talking to like a senior, bro, or someone who's going to be a senior, because over here we graduate normally in the age of like 16 to 18. That's usually the normal range people graduate, based on if they did like, they call it K5. It's like a grade. It's like going like, it's like preschool before actual elementary school. So it's that, right? So it's like preschool. So if you did K5, you would be like, I think 18 coming out of school versus being 17 to 18 coming out of school as opposed to being 16. Because some people just go from home straight into grade 1. That's how they do it sometimes. Instead of doing preschool up until they get to that age. Which by the time you graduate when you're 18, you're usually more intelligent and usually more mature than people who just started school when they were in grade 1. At least growing up, that is, right? Not all the time though, of course. But I still have to say this, right? You were 16 years old. Look me in my eyes when I say this, bro. 16 years old, fam? What do you even see in a 13-year-old at that age, bro? I can understand if the person was 14, honestly. Because that's a 2-year age gap, right? Cool. 13, bro? I understood that women mature faster than men, but was this person a girl? And I feel like it's a boy. If it's a boy, it's still weird. If it's a girl, it's still fucking weird, bro. What do you see in that, bro? And I'm saying this because, like, if you boost up the age, right? If they're both adults, understandable. I don't really care. That's 18 and 19, 20. That's 18 and 21. That's like me dating a 18-year-old, right? Me personally, I just wouldn't do it because they're usually immature, and I have like a job and shit. Like literally, I'm doing this before I have to go to work, right? I'm doing this and I have to do a few other things as well as work out and stuff, right? But I can understand if like the person was like a year or two younger than you. 3 years is crazy, especially at that particular age. I had a guy that I know who dated this girl when she was like 16 and he was like 19. We were all in the same grade, right? I think he repeated the grade. That's why he was 19, right? So when he graduated, he was like 19, and when she graduated, she was like 16. That's because she skipped grades, right? So we all grew up. I mean, we all were in the same class, right? And they were still together for like 3 years, on top of the fact that they graduate after high school, right? Bro, it wasn't weird because it was like they're both in the same like age range, right? I think 3 years is like the maximum cutoff, but I think it only really works when like the person's over like 14 to 15. I think it works if the person's a little bit older. However, I still do find it weird though sometimes, and it depends on the context. This context alone, no, this is not the context. I mean, maybe, who knows, whatever. We can with the video. This is like 21. This is 21 minutes already. Jesus Christ, it's weird, bro.
But because of the mental state I was in, I was unable to make the right decision. They were entirely aware.
Nah, bro. Nah, bro. Nah. What mental state? What are you talking about, bro? Not gonna lie. Like, I saw a tweet on Twitter, right? That said, y'all people can't do anything, right? And what they meant was like people who have ADHD. Because, see, look, this is the shit that I think people don't like from people who have ADHD. It's people who do it for attention, bro. And people who act like they can't do anything, bro. Bro, the reason why people have a problem with people like this is mainly because it's like, bro, all they do is complain, bro. Or all they do is make themselves inept, bro. Why are you handicapping yourself, bro? There's people with actual problems who can't do certain things even if they wanted to. That's different, bro. You are doing it for attention, bro. I know I saw the video saying I'm gonna give this person some grace. But no, I can't, bro. Like, this is weird, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Bro, what? Why are you using that to justify, like, grooming a kid? Like, what are we talking about, bro?
Aware of the mental state I was in.
Birdie calls Kitty Dog a groomer, but justifies their relationship with the 13-year-old by saying that the 13-year-old kind of groomed them into a relationship. Now, let's be clear here. I don't think either of these situations are grooming, but if we use Birdie's definition against them, then they'd be a groomer in their own words.
I'm sorry, but have you ever met a 12-year-old that hasn't drawn?
Yes. Most of them who, didn't have...
Not gonna lie. I used to draw a lot as a kid. Not gonna lie. And the only thing close to that was close to corn was mainly the fact that, like, you would draw anatomy, right? So I was trying to learn how to draw anatomy because I liked, like, comic books and shit, right? Of course. Like, as a kid, of course. I liked comic books and shit, right? So it's different. To draw straight up, like, people having sex, I just couldn't do it because I didn't have the facilities to do it. I didn't understand how the fuck that worked. You know what I mean? I can still draw, and I still more likely will have to like watch stuff in order to actually see what I'm doing. But to continuously just draw that is crazy, bro. Drawing anatomy is different because you're just trying to understand human figure and human form. This person is trying to justify porn. This person is just trying to justify drawing porn, bro. That's fucking crazy, bro. Not gonna lie. That's actually insane to me, bro.
Have unrestricted access to the internet. The only people who do this are degenerate freaks who turned into you when they grew up. Also add dissociation to the list of things this person claims they have, like the laundry list. Birdie claims that when they were younger, they doxed their family's house address because they were suicidal, and then when they were confronted by their mother about this, they claimed they were abused. Here's a clip of what this abuse sounds like.
Bro, what?
Did you give our address to somebody? Shut! Did you? There are people here. I need to know if you did that. I will tell you after this. No, not after now. Mom, just dance up there right now. There are people watching this. I need.
Yeah, so call me crazy. That's not abuse, like, at all. Their mom was honestly very nice about this whole...
Bro, fox, bro. I was just gonna say that. I'm not gonna lie. Like, me, I, Caribbean, right? I'm Caribbean. And I'm saying that mainly because anybody who's Caribbean, African, Asian, Indian, all that type of stuff, bro, you already know our parents do not play, bro. Like, at all. Our parents do not play whatsoever, bro. I can never say that, bro. If my mommy say, hey, you gotta shut this down, the most she'll let me get away with, actually, no. At that age, I couldn't get away with shit, bro. Not gonna lie. I couldn't get away with anything, bro. I'm Caribbean. That's not gonna fly, bro. The first thing they're gonna look at is like, one, you talking back to me. That's the first thing. Two, you're telling me no when I give you an order. That's not a suggestion, it's an order. And then three, the severity of what I did, they will just walk into the room and beat me, bro. Dead ass. Hold on, where's my belt? Hold on, let me get my belt real quick. Let me show you what they would have done, bro. Let me show you what they would have done. Hold up. Let me show you what they would have done, bro. Let me show you, bro. Bro, dead ass, they would have walked in, right? They would have walked in, literally like this, bro. Hold on, you walk through the door real quick. Let me show you what it look like. I ain't playing, bro. Let me show you what it would look like, bro. Walk out, right? Walk in. Spot. Now, tell me why, right? I look on some random people on the internet know where we live, bro. Nigga, what? You see that? See that? I would have been dead, bro. Instantly, would have been nigga, what? I would have been dead, bro. They would have been, nigga. Would have been all that, bro. What you mean? What you mean, bro? Bro, they would have just walked into the room and beat me up, bro. Dead eyes. Walk into the room and beat me up. Don't let my daddy catch me. Bro, what? Nigga, bro, my dad had a leather belt. This is just a hard texture. This is a Stacey Adams belt, right? My daddy had a leather dicky belt, bro. That bitch was brown, bro. And like, he had it since he was like my age now, right? Up until that age, when she was like 40 something, 30 something, right? No, 40 something. But like, tell me why, right? One day, my cousin, story time real quick, right? My cousin, right? My little cousin. He came over to my dad here, right? Which is also my grandma, because my dad lives with my grandma, right? Bro, he came over there, right? He lost his Transformers toy, right? Tell me why. My little cousin didn't tell him that, hey, I lost my Transformers toy. Bro, I got beat so bad that night. Oh my god. I got whipped like a slave, bro. It was crazy, bro. It was crazy, bro. Like, it was really crazy too because, like, gang, there was no reason to get beat like that, bro. It was fucking crazy. But the thing is, right, it was really insane too because I was like, damn, I ain't even do nothing, bro. That's why I was mad. Because I didn't even do anything, bro. I was like, wait, what? You lost your toy. And the thing is, right, it was under the pillow. It was under, like, the pillow. Because I think we was playing with the... I think the two of us was playing with the toys, right? And what ended up happening was, I think he forgot underneath the pillow or something like that, right? I can't remember. And, but, I got beat for that, bro. Ever since then, I didn't like that little nigga, bro. That ass. I didn't like him after that, bro. I was like, bro, you caused me get my ass whooped, bro. But, going back to this video, bro, I could never do that, bro. Ever. Bro, what? I'd be dead. I would honestly be dead, bro. There's no... And then the thing is, right? What really pisses me off with this, too, is that her mother is, like, way more understanding. Growing up, I wish I had parents like this, bro. Dead ass. Bro, it's to where, like, you would do anything, and you would get beaten or yelled at, bro. Dead ass, bro. Nowadays, parents are a lot softer. But, bro, I can never do this. I could never do this, bro. What? Like, and judging by how attention-seeking kind of this person seems to be with all of their disorders and stuff, I kind of have a feeling that the person is going to yell even more, and they're going to escalate the situation. Let's see if the parent escalates it too. Honestly, if the parent does, then that's understandable, not gonna lie.
Whole thing. Well, you screamed like a lunatic. So your story about your mom being abusive because she yelled at you
That's
seems like
crazy,
the exact opposite. We then get to the weirdest claim of the entire video. Birdie talks about how there's allegations of them abusing their ferret. Now, this person is clearly an idiot and, like, just a disgusting freak in general, but they wouldn't go as so far as to, you know, rape their pet ferret.
So, there's this screenshot that my ex spread around of me saying I sexually abused my ferret. Of course, if this was true, that would be fucking deplorable, and holy shit, you'd have to send me to jail. Straight to jail. That would be it. You'd have to lock me up and throw away the key, guys. But?
What? Wait, what do you mean, but?
There's
Why
a
is there
shit
more?
ton of context missing from this. Admittedly, I didn't mention this in the screenshot, but the reason this happened...
What could possibly be the context, bro? Oh my god, bro. What could be the context, bro? And the thing is, right? I feel like you're lying. When you say, yeah, but they're missing context, and but, oh my god, bro. You're lying, bro. Like, all of that piece of, like, dialogue right there invalidates what you just said, deadass. It really invalidates what you just said because it's like, you're contradicting your previous statement, bro. Why are you still continuing this? Why is this a thing, bro? This should not be a thing. What the hell?
And it's because I was groomed into it when I was 13
What?
years old.
How?
Fuck me, I guess. So yeah, long story short, Birdie didn't actually rape their pet ferret. They were just prepared to orally rape it.
What?
Which is almost as important as the grooming context, is that right in the screenshot I said I didn't even go through with it. Like, it never even...
Hold on. I'm trying to read this. I warn you, I regret this awfully. I genuinely have no fucking idea why I did that. When I was 13, I was being manipulated by Maddie. I don't know what that is. I have no fucking idea why, but when my family left the house, I tried to make Kara do teen aunts on me, and I'm so fucking upset at 13-year-old me. I didn't even go through with it. I was so ashamed. I don't abuse animals. It was a one-time thing. Which, like I said, I have no fucking idea why I did that. Why? Not gonna lie, bro. Off of that, yeah, the video was over, bro. Not gonna lie. The video was over, bro. No, the video was over, bro. I cannot watch the rest of that, bro. In good faith, I cannot watch the rest of that, bro. What? Bro, I want to look up the definition of teen aunts, but judging by how it sounds, bro, it sounds like this person had, like, the ferret licked them, bro. And you know what I mean by lick them. Nah, bro, the video's over. But, gonna be editing this, putting this up or whatever. Yeah. But, I am mainly making these videos to promote my editing, thing that I'm doing. I'm doing editing. I'm trying to do editing. So, I'm gonna be making clips and stuff for this. I'm going to be chopping this up so I'll be able to actually get some editing work. And I guess do YouTube on the side, honestly. But I primarily want to do editing, though. Not gonna lie. I primarily want to do editing. I like doing the YouTube stuff, but I can't get paid for it. So, because I live in the Bahamas, and that's not a thing. If I blow up, I blow up. Honestly, that's how I look at it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. With that said, I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace.